And I think you may have helped this country start something here. You started it, and it's been like a domino effect. It started with you naming Nana Patekar. It started with you making an allegation against Vivek Agnihotri. It started with you facing the backlash. But instead of women, going silent, we saw more women speaking up. Today we saw Vikas Behel's production firm on the mat. We saw a director like Anurag Kashyap being compelled to give a statement. We saw that production firm closing down. Tanushree, how long have you lived with this trauma, and what happened now that the floodgates burst open again?
Well, this incident happened 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And 10 years ago, all the steps were taken. I had filed a police complaint. I had given a detailed complaint to SINTA, the Film Association of Bollywood, and I have written records of it, and a couple of other places. So, and the media covered it extensively, although the narrative was
unfriendly and hostile at that time.
Very unfriendly, very hostile, very unbelieving. Some of them were outright derogatory and, what is that kind of reporting? The scandalous...
salacious, like almost gossipy?
Gossipy, yeah. And so it died down like a story. It erupted like a story and it died down like a story. And of course the film industry was silent completely. And I saw that these guys, the Nana Patekar, the producer, director, the choreographer, they were all party to the harassment. They went about their life as if nothing happened. And malicious rumors and lies were perpetrated about me. And those lies were there was a risk of those lies becoming gospel truth.
Yeah.
When you don't get the support and nothing comes out of anything, then those kind of, that narrative...
The lies stick. The
lies stick, narrative sticks. So of course I chose to walk away from the industry because I also had this feeling like nothing happened, and if I now go on to another movie set and if something like that happens again, of course I'm still not going to take it lying down, and if I speak out again, I'm going to be now properly branded the problematic person.
Which is why so many women don't speak across professions, right? Because you are fighting so hard to make your space. And if you speak up, you feel that maybe the next assignment won't come your way, the next professional assignment you won't get because somebody is going to call you a problem woman,
yeah,
or someone who's complaining. Tanushree, I know you've recounted this a few times, but this is a Bangalore audience. Not everybody has seen the interviews. Can I ask you, if it's not too painful for you, to tell us what happened 10 years ago and how it was normalized? Not just what happened, but how it was normalized.
Well, I mean, of course I've repeated it several times. I can repeat it one more time, it's fine. I was approached for this song and they chased after me for 3 months, convincing me to do this song. I had an intuition that maybe I should just go for a holiday, but I got convinced. Because one of their sales pitch was that Nana Patekar is there in the film, award-winning actor and all that. And the song was good. I would, if the song becomes a hit, I would go ahead and do stage shows on it. As we all know, female actresses in Bollywood don't get paid as much as male actors. So we have to work doubly hard. We don't have the luxury for being lackadaisical in our attitude towards work.
You can't be too choosy or picky.
Yeah, and we also don't have the luxury of being unprofessional.
Yeah.
And that's the one word that gets thrown around a lot every time somebody is not compliant, with this kind of behavior. So anyways, I chose to take up the song, and what I found peculiar was during the negotiation, I made it very clear, because I had the position in the industry at that point of time, in my own way, to choose my own stuff, my costumes. I also recommended Ganesh Acharya's name into the song, just so that I have
comfort with the choreographer.
Comfort with the choreographer, so they don't give me any steps that I'm uncomfortable with. Nana Patekar had one line in the song, just one line, which they said they will take it separately, because they were anyways shooting on a set which was being used for the talkie portions as well. And then my song was going to be picturized on the same set. But he was on set the first day, and the second day, and the third day, and this was the fourth day. He was not supposed to be on set, so his presence on set was also making me uncomfortable, because his whole vibe, the way he would be staring at me, I'm doing my work and he's always around, but that's not something you can complain about. That's just weird behavior.
Right.
And being in Bollywood, you kind of get used to weird behavior. You get used to obnoxiousness, rudeness, weirdness.
Giant male egos.
Yeah, that kind of stuff, you know. So you're like, okay. But I think he was assessing me, he was sizing me up. He was trying to see what kind of woman am I. You know, I think that's the predatory nature of these people, is to kind of, they don't behave like that with everybody. They only behave like that with people who they think they can get away with. Because maybe in the past they've gotten away with it. So anyways, his distance was, he was bridging the distance between himself and me. On this particular day, he just decided to grab me by the arms, push me around, you know, idhar khadi rahe. Now remember this, I'm already uncomfortable with him on the set. He's not supposed to be there. It's a solo song on me. What is he doing there? Then he decides to grab me by the arms, push me around. He tells the choreographers to stay away, and he starts teaching me how to dance. So he was pushing me around on the pretext of teaching me how to dance. And the choreographer and his team, they simply stayed away while this guy was, and my mind was like, whoa, what's going on? And I was getting very uncomfortable, very angry. I went and complained to the producer, the director, the choreographer separately. And I was very angry. I said that, you know, ask him to leave the set. And I had brought it up the previous day as well. What is he doing on the set? And they said, oh, we can't say anything to him, he's a senior actor. But kya kare? Koi baat nahi, you know. And then when I complained about this, they said, don't worry, we'll sort it out. He's a senior actor, we cannot say much to him, but don't worry about it, everything is going to be okay. Anyways, an hour and a half later, or 2 hours later maybe, they call me on set for rehearsals. I go for rehearsals and they introduce a dance step in which she has to fill me up. So after I complained of his behavior and they assured me that they're going to take care of it, now they introduce a dance step.
They manufacture a dance step where he can basically maul you or paw you.
Yeah. And if I had gone ahead with that dance step, I would never have anything to say. I would not be here today. I will not, you know, I would not be able to say anything, because that dance step, if I had gone ahead with that, he would have done whatever he wanted to do.
So what did you do instead?
I put my foot down. I said, I'm not doing this dance step. And the director, choreographer, and the producer, they literally came down on me, calling me unprofessional on my face. They said, dance step to karna hi padega. Like, you don't have a choice in it. It's part of the choreography. I said, hey, he's not even supposed to be a part of the song. He's not even supposed to be a part of the choreography. Then why now all this? Why is he now a part of the choreography? He's part of the song with me. And I'm being forced to do a dance step that I'm not comfortable with. Okay. Now, a lot of people who say, oh, she did Ashik Banaya with Imran Hashmi and, you know, there was much more. That was consent. I agreed to do that song. You know, I chose it. This particular movie, I had consented only to a solo dance sequence. I had made it very clear it is a solo dance, and they had assured it that नहीं उसका एक ही line है गाने में, वो हम उसको अलग से ले लेंगे.
So what happens after this?
I put my foot down. They were angry with me. You know, I could sense the hostility on the set, and I walked out. Of course, they tried to modify it a little bit, but I walked out. I knew they were not, you know, they were not willing to bend down. I called my parents on set, my manager, because I was a kid, you know, 10 years ago, so I was very young. I was not able to get through to them, so I thought if my dad comes and my dad communicates with these men, maybe, you know, he'll be able to explain.
And did that work?
No, it didn't. They had the same attitude, the same hostile attitude towards my dad, my manager. They were adamant, and they even threatened to call the media. They said, we'll call the media, you know. And of course, my parents were trying to do that. My mom was with me, my dad was on the set. Then my dad came back and he's like, you know, it's not working. And he told them, सब गर्म हो चुके हैं अभी, तो अभी घर जाते हैं. Let's relax a bit. शांति से आप सोचो, हम भी सोचते हैं. Let's pack up, you know. They announced pack up, but they had already called the media. While we were getting ready to leave the van, we heard our van door being banged violently. We didn't know who they were banging our door so violently. They were a mix of media. There was one guy from the media, that orange shirt guy. who you see in the videos,
yeah, I've seen the
drinking the car. Yeah. And there were people from the Manse party as well. And we knew that, you know. Now I'm being asked to prove that they are Manse party also. So I'm like, hey, I mean, you know.
There was a violent mob because you were dared to take on someone powerful like Nana Patekar. And what happened with Vivek Agnihotri? Was that a separate incident?
That was a separate film. Let me finish this.
Yeah.
Nana Patekar at that point of time had joined the Manse party. It was public news. And Manse was a new political party which was coming up on the scene with this aggressive ideology. So obviously that's a connection, you know, where when this news reached them, they came to support one of their own in the manner that they know best. We had to be rescued from there by the cops. They had to fire a couple of rounds in the air because we were blocked off. Those guys had asked the studio gate people to shut the gates, to not let us leave while all this was going on. Those guys were giving interviews, calling me all sorts of names. We were stuck. We were not able to communicate anywhere because the network's really bad. The cops came, rescued us, we were taken to the police station, we filed a complaint. I told them everything that I'm saying now and I've been saying for the last 10 years. And then of course, the media,
and basically I saw the industry body apologized for failing to have, they said you did come to them, you did. By the way, a lot of people said, why didn't she speak earlier? Why didn't she speak earlier? Actually, she spoke earlier, you went through all of the complaints. There are many reasons women don't speak in real time, and I want to talk about that, but you in fact did, and nothing happened. Just briefly, if you could talk about what happened with Vivek Agnihotri, yes. Then I want to go something.
So I was, talking about this recently, and somebody asked me, have you faced something similar in the film industry? So I said, this is common. Like people harassing you and being obnoxious is a very common thing. And I mentioned an example because it was a by the way kind of a statement. I didn't even mention Vivek's name. I said a director on my first movie set. I think I implied it. So
what did he say to you?
He was generally obnoxious all the time. I was not his first choice for the film.
But he said something, sexually explicit to you.
He was always mean and rude. But on that particular day, I was shooting a song sequence wearing skimpy clothes, and they had to put water on me. And because of that, I got high fever. I requested the production to tone the AC down. The AC was full blast. The production did not do it. And the production guy came and told me, you have to ask her, the director. I went and asked him, sir, could you, put the AC down because I'm developing a fever. And he said, तुम्हारे लिए पूरी set को गर्मी में सड़ने दे क्या? ठीक है? I felt horrible about it and I chose not to say anything about it. Anyways, I was not allowed to go back to my van or anything. That was his usual practice. I was constantly on set, whether I'm required or not. I would be on set from morning 6 o'clock to sometimes evening 8 o'clock. And my shot wouldn't come and I would be packed up. If I went back to my van, within 20 minutes he would send somebody and say, Tanushree ko set pe bula, uska shot aa raha hai.
And what would he tell you when you came back to do this sequence?
So anyways, I was on set with my fever, with my robe and everything. I was standing behind the camera and Irfan's close-up was going on, tight close-up of his face. And he had to give some expression at me, so the dance sequence was going on and he's giving some weird expressions. So you don't need to give cues for something like that. It's a tight close-up, and it's not a dialogue, talky portion. So just to humiliate me, this guy is like, ये इरफान का शॉट है, जाओ जाके कपड़े उतार के नाचो, cues दो उसको.
कपड़े उतार के
नाचो, हाँ. The robe that I was wearing, कपड़े जाओ जाके कपड़े उतार के नाचो, cues दो उनको, in front of the whole set, on the mic. And I was just shocked with the manner in which it was spoken to me, and I was. It's the first time that somebody has even spoken to me like that.
Yeah.
It's my first film, first experience with the crudeness of the film industry. I come from a Miss India background, represented India at Miss Universe, come from a very educated, basic, normal family background. I have never even heard men speak to women like that. Okay, I get shocked and I'm thinking how to respond to that command. Like, do I actually take off my robe and go, or take offense, or like what? Like, while I was thinking all that, Irfan Khan spoke up and he's like, he felt offended. He's like, no, I don't have to, I don't need her cues. Mujhe acting aati hai. And Sunil Shetty was there, was also mortified. A week later, even he, came at Vivek saying that मैं आऊँ sarcastically, मैं आऊँ क्या क्यों देने के लिए, क्या बात कर रहे हो, reprimanded him.
So I think listening to what I'm hearing is actually probably what a lot of women go through, but dare not say, call it by its name. And I want to come back to you on the reactions that you faced then and now.
And Vivek sent me a legal notice.
And Vivek sent you a legal notice, as did Nana Patekar. It hasn't stopped you, and more power to you. Somehow, all this is, she triggered something. Tanushree triggered something, and you're seeing